We're back with another horror movie review. So, today we are doing Night of the Demon, not to be confused with the old Night of the Demon. This is a Bigfoot movie. And it's probably, I, I don't know the exact date it was made, somewhere around 78, 79 probably. It's definitely in the 70s. You can tell because a lot of the effects and the music are very similar to the $1 Million Man TV show. But when they say up here at the top, the best and bloodiest Bigfoot movie ever made, I don't know if I would say it's the best, even though it is very good. But it is for sure the bloodiest Bigfoot movie I've ever seen. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was even banned in the United States for a while. I may be wrong, but something makes me think I remember that because this is very, very rare to get a hold of this. Uh, Not just this, but before it was on VHS, I think, and that VHS was way overpriced. I mean, you couldn't find any for below $100 and some dollars. But they released this. This is a Blu-ray. They released this 2, 3 years ago, maybe, and I finally picked it up. So you've got this nice little sleeve. The title of the movie's embossed on the cover, so that's pretty neat. You've got this image of the Bigfoot creature, which it's kind of interchangeable. You could make either one the front or back. It doesn't really matter. And the slip cover is very, very thick. It feels about twice as thick as slip covers they use in big budget movies. Then you had the interior cover art. You got a little bit of the back. You probably can't see them too good, but right here is the Bigfoot. Looks very. It's Bigfoot. You can definitely tell it's a man that they've dressed up, but it works for the movie. And I'm very critical about werewolves and how they look and Bigfoots and how they look. And this works for the movie. Here they got alternate artwork. It comes in a nice black case, not to be mistaken for 4K. This is Blu-ray. Comes with your feature film. Comes with another disc with extras and everything you would expect. This is a surprise that anybody put this out, because like I said, this was such a niche little movie, and it, for whatever reason, whether it was banned or not, you didn't see this a lot of places. It may be a 1980 movie, but everybody's dressed and acts like it's the 70s, so it had to be filmed in the 70s and put out in the early 80s probably. So getting into the story, I won't spoil everything, but it starts off with a guy laying in the hospital bed, and he's jacked up. He's messed up. and you got a bunch of college students coming to interview him, and he's telling all these. Well, I might be wrong about the college students interviewing him. I think it's the police coming and interviewing him, asking him what happened because he was the college professor. So they go on a trip to look for Bigfoot, and you get flashes of Bigfoot while they're looking for him, and it's not Bigfoot walking through the forest kind of stuff like what you get in most movies. Like, this is telling like stories they've heard of Bigfoot killing people, or I mean, you got Bigfoot running up on two girls out there camping, and I mean, it's brutal how he takes them out. You got a motorcycler that pulls over, and he has to go take a whiz, and Bigfoot takes him out in a very weird way. I was not expecting it. Not the first time I seen it anyway, and you won't see anything like it now probably. I mean, it's going to make any man kind of quiver in fear when he sees it. It is very, very graphic on the blood and the killing scenes. Nudity is present during the biker scene, we'll say. The biker scene, you will never see nothing like that again in another Bigfoot movie or any kind of horror movie. Like, that was out there. But you get a lot of little scenes where Bigfoot just pops in and just kills somebody, and then he disappears, and until you get towards the end of the movie where you start getting the motivation of why Bigfoot has gone on this killing spree. I do kind of like where they ended up with the story. Like, at first you're kind of like, why is he just running around just killing everything when all the other Bigfoots has been documented, have always been peaceful. You get to see why he becomes this rampaging beast. They don't show him a lot, but he is in the film decent enough. Like, you don't get to physically see him very well until you get towards the end. But they do a good enough job of putting his presence there in most of the kills and stuff. You get little brief images of him. Like, they do a good enough job to keep you into it. I don't want to spoil any of the end. Like, there's a major, when you find out why he's going on the rampage, like, that's something you'll see probably teased in other Bigfoot movies, but you won't see it to this extent. It ended really well. I can definitely see why it was very niche because of the overabundance of violence and gore. I mean, I love my horror movies to have violence and gore, but sometimes this was pushing it for some. And then, of course, you got some scenes that there's just so much gore and stuff. It's funny. It just becomes silly. But for the most part, it was very well done. I really, really enjoyed it. The only copy I'd had of this was an old crappy looking VHS copy. This is done by Severn. The transfer and all that's done by Severn. And this is a darn fine looking copy. This is a worthy upgrade. This movie looks miles above the VHS. They took time, they took pride in what they done, and they took this and turned it into a heck of a better looking movie than it deserves to be. So I would suggest picking this up because it probably will not be around for years and years down the road. It didn't stick around on VHS. I don't expect it to stick around on Blu-ray. It is not Boggy Creek. It is not for children by any means at all. It is a very mature Bigfoot movie. Uh, the video quality on it is superb. I couldn't ask for better video quality unless they transferred it to 4K. Uh, the sound on it's good. They done a good job redoing the soundtrack, kind of getting the soundtrack to sound better. It's worth a pickup. Uh, that's about all I know to say about that one. If you are a Bigfoot fan, find this. It's getting hard I don't even know if you can find any with slip cases anymore. I don't know. I haven't looked. I've managed to find that one in my local used book movie store, McKay's. So I got a good price on it. Luckily, it had the sleeve with it, the slip cover. So this. If you are a Bigfoot movie, you can't call yourself a Bigfoot movie collector without this in your. This is as Bigfoot oriented, essential for your collection as the Legend of Boggy Creek is. Like this goes in your Bigfoot collection, and that's all I've got about that one.